Coming to you live from the Business RadioX studio, it's Franchise Marketing Radio, brought to you by IDS, an award-winning digital marketing agency that delivers integrated marketing solutions for franchisors, franchisees, and franchise development teams. Learn why over 75 brands depend on IDS's team of dedicated marketers and client service professionals to deliver a strong ROI on their marketing investment. Go to idsfranchisemarketing.com for a complimentary digital audit and consultation.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Franchise Marketing Radio. I'm your host, Rob Ganley. It's great to have you here. And as always, I have a great guest today and always excited when I do. So I want to introduce Julie Canseco. She's the Chief Operating Officer at Main Squeeze Juice Company, and she's the registered dietitian. And I'm going to let her share more about that here in a minute. Welcome to the show, Julie.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
You got it. It's great to have you. So tell us a little bit about the brand. How did it start? How did you get involved? And tell us a little bit about your vision and your role there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to share where we started and where we're going. So Main Squeeze Juice Company is a juice and smoothie bar franchise that was actually born out of a little small town in Louisiana called Lake Charles. It was really a mom and pop shop. It was a yoga studio juice bar with no big plans of franchising or growing. It was really just bringing health to this community of Lake Charles, which if you're from Louisiana, you just know how difficult that is to do with healthy food. That's just like par for the course being here. Yeah. And it's interesting. We found the business and looking for our next business opportunity. Actually, my brother, who is the CEO, and my husband, who is the general counsel at this time, really found this business, and we created it to where we can actually franchise it and begin scaling it. We really saw this as the way, and like the opportunity of bringing health to the masses, because really what it did, it really bridged the gap between healthy eating and like something that tasted really, really, really good. Like we know good cooking, we know good food down here. And to us, it was eye-opening. And so really Main Squeeze started in Lake Charles, and really our mission and where I came involved is really being able to create this one shop into a franchise type of shop, right? You know, systems aren't always scalable from 1 to 50 to 100, right? To 500. And so really being able to do that. So I actually joined in. I had a really great career as a public health dietitian. I was working with healthy eating in restaurants myself, actually, when we found Main Squeeze. I joke it was planned in at my house till 2 a.m. between my brother and my husband, like for several months when we started it. And you know, when I really saw the product myself, I joined in. I mean, I just knew that this was it. I mean, I'd been searching for something that would bring health to the masses really my entire career as a dietitian. And this was it, because it was approachable. It tasted good. It was easy to get. It was convenient. It was fast. It was everything that we needed in our crazy lifestyles that we were doing today. And what's really incredible for me, it was my first opportunity in franchising, where it was, this was the second franchise endeavor for our CEO, Thomas. And he had just left a big acquisition from a cell phone repair program, CPR. They sold to the largest really franchise in the network at that time. And this was the next fit for them. And I ended up joining board really because to me, I knew that this was how I could achieve like my personal purpose of health and eating and wellness. And I actually just started as the quality assurance manager for the company when we started back then. And, you know, really for me, that was the recipes. And then it was the design and the construction. And then it was the training. And then it was the marketing. And then it was the development. And so I actually it was a really amazing time for me, because I really got to wear the hat of every role and really build the foundation for what we've done today as a system, which has been really incredible. And it also helps all the departments link together, I think, really well. Marketing and operations are one here at Main Squeeze, because you cannot market a product that you did not make. So, you know, finding ways to find this cohesively, whether that's for store opening and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, we started back in 2017. We now have 28 locations across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, and Florida. And we actually recently just acquired another juice and smoothie franchise system just this past month, actually, hopefully hoping to nearly double our growth in this opportunity. So we're very excited, and there's a lot more to come.
Wow, that was a great answer. I love it. I love the comments about where it started from. I'm from the Northeast, so the Philadelphia area, and then of course spent a lot of time up in those cities, and now I'm out west. in the Rockies out this way. But when it comes to food, I gotta say, I mean, I think of New Orleans as like one of my favorite places. Anywhere down south, I just love the food. Of course, I like the food up north too, but I gotta tell you, you guys do know how to make good food. And yeah, probably isn't always the healthiest, right?
No, we're number 50. We're number 50 in the health meter, I think, across all states. Like Mississippi just beat us. We were very disappointed. So we have our work cut out for us. But that is why we started where we started. I mean, we could have taken this juice bar and gone to Philadelphia, and we probably would have had a market of educated consumers and people that knew, or even in the Midwest, right? But down south, it's about making a difference, because we knew if we could get people who weren't used to eating kale or spinach or chard, right? If it wasn't smothered in something, we could get anybody to eat it, Yeah, and so right. The proof is really in that. And I think that is what, again, it's that approachability, right? Health is not just healthy. Okay. Like, it's approachable. It tastes good. It looks beautiful. It feels beautiful. You kind of feel like you're part of a thing when you're drinking it. So that's really that's what our hope was. And it's what our vision's always been.
No, that's a tremendous, every brand has to have that, right? That driving why, why did we do this? And that keeps it simple too, because you can remember what the important things are to focus on, right? Yes. Good food and healthy food, good and healthy, right? Exactly. So that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about it. You mentioned a couple things too about, for you guys, it was like, I guess franchising was somewhat new as a concept in terms of, hey, we'd like to get the word out about this. We would like to make a difference. And we have to, in order to do it, we have to, how do we do it? Right. And of course, I think franchising, one of the great things about it is it does give that small business owner or that entrepreneur, the opportunity to scale the idea, right? But maybe do it in a way that shares it with other people that feel the same way you do, right? Gather like-minded community around you. And it makes the brand very strong. And I know that you guys went through the COVID times as well as everybody. And being in franchising is probably, if you had to pick a place to be, it would be in that sort of business model, because we all had to lean on each other in those times. So that's why, because you have this network of like-minded individuals that are all contributing. Of course, your team is leading the pack. So I guess the question for me is, you're thinking about getting to the 100 unit mark by 2025. I thought I read. So tell me a little bit about the approach. Like, what is, as being the COO, what is sort of your, growth on one hand, but controlled, let's make sure we're doing it right. And it's, you just said it, the product has to stand, right? So tell me, how does that work when you're scaling quickly and have these other goals of expansion? How do you balance the two?
Yeah, absolutely. And trust me, it's every day. It's how do we keep pushing forward? How do we lower costs? How do we do better? But still not compromise, right, on the quality, which is what our product is and really what sets us apart. And you're so right. I mean, franchising has been, for us, it was the tool that we knew was going to be the most successful in bringing something like this. One, because franchising allows the community to be tied in automatically. And that was actually what was so exciting about Main Squeeze when we first found it. It was in a tiny little community, and it was crushing it. I mean, sold out the first day. And so, but it was not because I was there doing it. It's because people that they knew in their community were making that juice, right? They were making the smoothie, there's this way. There are businesses that open several corporate locations. Like, we have opted actually not to do that as a system. We did open one corporate location when we started, mainly because it was like our factory, our learning factory, right? We opened that store, we designed the store, we trained at the store, we did we had all of our initial marketing initiatives. So that was our learning lesson. That corporate location, we've sold it to be a franchise because we want to focus our time on supporting our franchisees and growing the business for them more than anything. But that's what's incredible. I mean, the franchise network allows everybody to be deep rooted in their community. And that is what sets a lot of things apart. Two, I mean, everybody has the same why for Main Squeeze. A lot of our initial franchisees were customers. I mean, they came in and they just loved the product, and they're like, how do we do this? Like, we need to do this. I mean, we had a couple in St. Louis actually who didn't even try our product. They just found our product, and amongst all the other branding that was out there, they chose ours. because it was the most beautiful and it seemed like it shared the right message the right way. So, I think there's a way to tie in. The community aspect of franchising is incredible. And so for us, that growth is there because that's going to bring in the customers, and the customers, that's that community. You can get someone in the door one time, but how do you keep them coming back for more and getting more every time that they're there? So it's a lot of what our traction is too. And then, for us and our growth, we've clustered really strategically. We absolutely had inquiries in Hawaii. I'm not going to lie, within our first year of opening. And of course, I would love to go to Hawaii to open a store. That sounds fun for me, but that does not sound like the right fit for the business, because we had to, as we were young and we were growing and we were trying to manage costs for everybody, we really did have to cluster and structure our growth accordingly. So you'll notice, the Southeast is primarily where we've been. And we've kind of just slowly inched our way out. We're stretching out a little bit, whether it's like to Missouri or Florida. And so that's now, and then, Missouri was our next one. And then we went to Jacksonville. So we've gone, 10 plus hours away from our home office. And then now with our acquisition, think of it almost nationwide. We're everywhere, but necessarily the West Coast, so to speak. So, really, really exciting. We just sold the entire state of Arizona. So that's another opportunity of growth a new way that we're thinking. It's an area representative opportunity within franchising, which is really interesting. It's a new model for us. And I'll say we've tried a lot of these newer tactics have really happened probably since 2022. We really, as much as people buckled down in COVID, man, we just hit the pedal to the metal. I swear, we actually only invested more. We created an app. We kept all of our teams. We opened more stores. We didn't shut, we put money out there. We donated because we knew that this was a product that people would want and the business would come. We knew it because we created this. And we were right. 2020 was actually one of our best years yet. It was actually in the 2021 years where everybody was fatigued and tired. And we've all, those are the harder times. And so now, we've.
I was going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going to say that it reminds me, like when you said, everybody was burnt out, like in 2021, it's like you had that adrenaline rush to get through 2020. And, and your feedback is amazing, because I heard that over and over again. We interviewed a lot of people during that time frame. Mm-hmm. And that was the advice of a lot of folks. Stay focused. Stay focused. Yes. You said it from your heart. Like, our product is what people want. Like, you think people aren't going to drink coffee because of COVID? We need our coffee, right? Yes. Whatever that is you want. And I know for me, there are some places, and unfortunately you guys aren't here in Colorado yet, or at least not near me. So I hope you are soon. But but I was going to say is I have my favorites, my juice bars, right? Yeah. I do love them. And honestly, it is about the product. It totally is. And some I like more than others, but it isn't something I would forego. And so I think that's great. Very sound advice too, when you think about what you just said about pushing through. So, but you said a few other things too. I want to make sure I keyed in on, which I think is true of a lot of franchise brands. And one is that you could tell how conscientious you guys are about, this is about the franchisee succeeding, right? They win, you win, the customer win, the community wins. And so one part of that is you're being conscientious about you're intentional about your expansion, the relationships and the methods in which you do it. So it sounds like you're having amazing success there. And I want you to tell me a little more about it. But as far as the expansion and the partnerships and things and the acquisition, but the other part of that is what you said about the product, right? And the community aspect. What I hear from a lot of franchisors like yourself is the way the franchise owner is bringing it to his community feels the same way you do. Wants to have a healthy product, a good product, one that people love and like to talk about. And that is marketing, right? That's storytelling. That I'm like you, we're in the same place, right? But tell me a little bit about how you guys look at it from a marketing standpoint. Is there ways that you partner officially with other businesses? Is there other ways that you get involved in the community that you encourage? But how do you get that business owner out there locally with his people? Yeah,
and that's been where, now that everybody's out there again, it's almost like we're retraining society to interact a little way, not just us, but like everybody, right? Social interaction is a little different these days. And it's local store marketing it's a key pillar that we have reframed and reworked our entire marketing strategy actually here at the home office at Main Squeeze since probably maybe like October of 2022. We've been reworking and priming for scaling because that's what we needed to do. And really, we needed to prime our stores for that. Because if we were going to take in more, we needed to make sure that everything was working in place and we weren't going to, one, drop a ball, but two, we were still going to grow and innovate and breathe life into a brand as we're growing, right, and doing all these new things. And so one of the key pillars, I mean, we instituted a couple of things, but one of the key pillars that we talk about is local store marketing. And it was actually like an underrated thing that we had for management and maintenance of like a mature store. You know, we focus a lot, local store marketing, like we're in your Nieto community. That's what you do, right? You're the boots on the ground. You're out there and you're telling everybody like, I'm the new juice bar in town. And like, this is why you should come see me, you know? And, you know, you can go out and you have samples. Like there is this vigor, right? And this energy and this excitement. It's easier to do that. I think it's actually so much harder when you have operators who really are operating a business, right? And they want, you know, and again, with the fatigue we've had going on, it's hard to ask them to get out there and be the boots, right? And do that. I mean, one, to find the time, like labor shortages are real, you know, I mean, product shortages are real. We have real challenges that they're still facing. But really putting an emphasis, I will say that's the first thing we did differently, is putting an emphasis on local store marketing as an ongoing marketing tier for everybody. Like this is like forever. You know, we kind of always said, hey, look, you started, you've got your first 6 months. Those are going to be your key relationships. And you can kind of just foster those, you know, but businesses are going out of business. You know, people are transitioning out. Managers aren't there anymore at the F45. And we got to go back out there, you know, I mean, so it's been really refreshing to kind of just reinvigorate that pillar of our marketing. You know, you can think about refreshing your website, right? You can refresh your Instagram account, your TikToks, all that other stuff. But it's refreshing how we approached local store marketing. And I think, so, you know, we've done a couple of things to do that, honestly. So one, we did actually, again, we restructured and reframed our company to be able to support and provide more tools and resources for local store marketing. I think that's the first thing that we did well. So what do I do? What are the kits that I send out? And how do I go about that? What type of businesses do I look for? Well, hey, these are our marketing demographics. Like, so at the same time, we're analyzing who our customers are, right? What are we looking at? And like, what are people loving online? And what are they doing? Our customer wants information. That's what we found out, you know, whereas like a one sentence post might have done something for somebody 2 years ago. Our customer wants paragraphs. They want like information. That's what we found out. We also know their age range. And so being able to kind of combine our analysis of like the real marketing metrics, right, and measurements and pairing that with the grassroots marketing is really what's going to be a game changer, because then you're actually marketing to your target market in your grassroots. It's not such a wide net anymore, right? It's not just every school in the county. It's the ones with the top tiers with this demographic, right, that are in your proximity. And so I think that's a big thing too, is combining that really tools. And so we do workshops now. We do local store marketing workshops. And, you know, we've been working with stores. I have a store that had 200% increase year over year in same store sales just because of local store grassroots marketing. Like, no lie. That is what did it. And you want to know why? It's because it got him offsite revenue. It got him opportunities to go open. He made juice for Journey at a concert that they had out there. So you have that power. And while we all I feel almost a little powerless in this day and age, right? There's just so much that's been out of our control. We've all done everything we can. You know, it is just putting yourself out there again and getting comfortable with that. But then also giving our system the tools to be really strategic, because we know how much work it is. We know what they're doing right now. We know that they can't spend all of their time out there. They still have to operate and run a business. That's a big part of it. But, you know, I think the biggest thing, Rob, is it really starts with the franchisees we've selected. I mean, like you said, they are marketing in themselves. And so to become a franchisee at Main Squeeze, it's not like you went in, all right. Like, it's actually a very rigorous vetting process. They meet our whole team, our entire team stamps off on them. They have to sign off on us. Franchisees are communicated with. I mean, it's a really big process, because if you're going to be a part of our brand, you are the brand, right? This is your version. This is your community and your brand, right? And so I think a lot of brands can kind of lower their standards because they might need to, especially as of lately, right? I mean, times have been tough. Yeah. So, you know, we didn't put a lot of money into franchise sales. We did not really, much to our franchise sales executives' demise. You know, It was all organic. It wasn't a lot of expos, but, you know, finding the right people from the beginning Let's all of those, everything I talked about, right, wouldn't be possible if those people weren't passionate about the brand and the product in the first place.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I think that, successful brands start off with a base of like-minded individuals and then get good at finding more of them. But to make those, to take shortcuts on that will only make it more difficult later. And that's, as a consumer, that's what makes franchising work so well, is that the predictability of the experience and the quality comes from that, right? Comes from your ability to find like-minded owners. But tell me, you were talking about marketing and we talked a lot about, again, the grassroots stuff, right? And really know your best buyer, they call it the avatar or whatever. And so, they want information. You had shared earlier that you're the company's licensed dietitian. And, so you're putting your background into the product design.
Yes.
And it allows others to talk about that and the benefits, because we know the ingredients you're using have lots of benefits. So just one of them probably, right? So there's a lot to learn about different ingredients. So it becomes something that you can convey it and talk about it and educate on it. People want to be educated. So it becomes more than just a product. It's a lifestyle and a community around that lifestyle. So tell me, we talked a little earlier about your technology, and I know that it may seem basic in just everyday stuff for you guys, but one of the great things about the way you're running your operation, and I know others do similar things, is you have technology that helps you stay connected with this audience, right? Helps you stay top of mind, deliver value, like you said. They want to know more information about maybe the health benefits of a particular product or an ingredient of a product. And so you're going to educate them on that. But there's ways for, like you said, a franchisee, an owner is busy. He's just running his business, right? So you're trying to think of, how do I use technology to actually improve how often people come in, or how often they buy, or maybe they refer people, or maybe they leave a good review. Those kinds of things, technology really helps with, right? Because most of us would say great things about a business, but if we're never asked, we probably won't say much about it. We may not. So tell me a little bit. I know you have technology. That's part of what you make sure is in place. Tell me about how that works and how that helps your franchise owners.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's incredible. I'm so thankful that as a business, one of the things that we did when we started is, alongside building the franchises, we did build and develop and continue to do so a custom proprietary point of sale business management system for every Main Squeeze franchisee. It's called Root Systems. It's proprietary. You will not find it anywhere else because it only exists for us. And that is the beauty, is it's tailored for our business and for our customers. We really took the best of all of what we saw out there, right? From Square, Clover, Toast, 5-star loyalty, Birds, all these little things that we saw, and tried to build a suite that actually made sense for our customer and for those that are managing it, which is our franchisees. And so what's incredible at our marketing tool is that our point of sale system is integrated with our customer rewards and loyalty program, which is then integrated into our customer messaging SMS texting program. Think of that, you're going to get those texts about deals or promotions or little things constantly in your phone, in your inbox. That also connects to your email for all of our email campaigns, right? And such. So we actually have a way to tie in, but what's great is our system knows the behaviors of all of your purchases. So we know that you come in and you love the Tropicale. The Tropicale is your juice, Rob. That's what you're going to get every time you need a smoothie. So we know that. And so when we're doing big promotions and we know we're going to do something, we actually can tailor our promotions just to you. So we can even get really more specific. We can do wide nets. Again, wide nets are good. Not to say we don't do those, but what it's really interesting and what's difficult, I feel, about marketing, especially specific product marketing, is trying to hone in on real behaviors of people. What do they want? And how often do they want something? And so we can analyze our customers by their favorite product, by how much they spend, how long it's been. If they haven't seen us in 90 days, we can actually send them a message to come back in with a special deal that then has 3 more deals to get them to come back in again. And, and so that platform has been with us from the beginning. Now we've made several enhancements throughout the way that make it way easier as the business owner and the manager to the side. But, we're building it as MMS now. And all of this is within our platform. We've also built a whole suite of, think of a text message bank, where all of these different options of all these deals, so our franchisees can use that, which is great, driving immediate traffic. We find that these text messages drive instant traffic, especially when there's like a little bit of a promo, hey, last sale, last call, I see what you did there. I see you bowls are 10% off today, like little things like that. And what's great is it actually ties in, our franchisees get an ROI report. So they even see how many people from that text message used it that day, that very, very day, which is really, really cool. So we've actually been using that as a tool for a while now. And we've actually now done system-wide messaging. We used to do them almost on a store-by-store basis, which we still do to this day because we sell a fresh product. And that's just going to be par for the course. We're going to have sales. But doing branding messaging, using this SMS as a tool for brand awareness, because also as somebody who I'm sure has had several juice bars in Colorado, there's a lot of noise around juicing. There's a lot of noise around health and wellness. And so you have to be above it, and you also have to stand out, and you have to consistently be in it. So, we have been, a lot of what our tactics right now are frequency and trying to get in like 14 times is kind of the name of the game now. It used to be, I think 3 or 4, I swear. When I was
my goodness. I know.
But
I was going to say
14 now. It's
you're up in the ante. Yeah.
Yes.
Our attention spans have dropped significantly.
Yes.
So I guess you have to.
Yeah. And then the last tool, I just wanted to say another thing is we really did enhance the technology. So those are the tools for like in-store, like loyalty, which is great, but it's also, you want tools for the customer. So we created an app, and that app's not just about ordering. You can go in there, you can actually see videos of me talking about all the juices and the products. There are things that I've written about them. We've taken all the time to have like video production on that. We go through extensive training, actually. Like our team is our marketing. Our frontline staff is your marketing. They're the ones that talk about the product day in and day out. And so you have to educate them. You have to excite them. So we do like team member contests on things like that. So, and then, one other technology I'd say that we do is self-order kiosks. Another thing that we pioneered throughout COVID. Throughout COVID, we built, I think in 2 months, a curbside mobile, like a web ordering platform, like on our website, literally 2 months. I mean, you didn't even have to go in, but you had to like say you were here. And, it was this whole little thing. Within a year in 2021, we built a full-blown app where you never even have to get outside your car to get your order. Actually, trust me, as a mom with the child in a car seat, like it's my favorite thing ever that I don't have to get her in and out of it. And then we also layered in self-order kiosks, which really helped with the staffing shortages that we've had. So think of it as like a self-checkout, an interactive space, this huge tablet next to all of our juice fridges. It's in our standard design now. You can check out yourself. You can learn more about the products. You can read about the products. So if people are busy and you're a customer who wants the information, you actually have it right there at your fingertips, everything that you want. So we are trying to, we have the tools at home. We have the back-end tools for us. Then we have even in-store resources that we're starting to really layer in more. And that's only going to be more to come for sure.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like amazing. As a marketer, I can appreciate everything you're saying. You really built a way to reach everybody, right? Which is key. It's like, well, everybody's a little bit different. Some are, hey, today I just feel like grabbing it on the go and I don't need to talk to anyone. So even if you didn't have staffing issues, just having that option. And I know COVID created a lot of great innovation that, hey, it's stuck. It's not like you need to stop it now. We can keep it going.
Exactly.
So just real quick, everything you're saying, being the product, loving the product. I experience the product and I love it. That's the best marketing of all, because I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to tell my friends, I'm going to leave good reviews. And that's really the key. But you, of course, still have to lay the foundation. You have to be a brand. So you're out on Facebook, you're out on Google. Tell me how that works for your local markets. What are your priorities there? I know, obviously, you're going to build a website and have a web presence, but tell me, how do you look at that as the COO? What is your goal there?
Absolutely. And again, and one of those things, we went through this exercise in October and rethinking our brand. Brands have evolved over time, and I think there's a natural evolution that comes with a really young brand versus one that, there's bigger things. We serve fresh food now. We did not do that when we first started, at Main Squeeze. There's an evolution that takes place and the marketing comes with that. I think online, what we're noticing, the first thing that we were really trying to learn and understand is who was our customer online. We understand who's coming in store. We understand that we can see that, but who's reading the information? Who's the potential? Who's thinking about it, but hasn't made the transaction yet, right? Who hasn't come in the door? And so, a lot of what we're doing is, you can put out something that looks pretty and you can put out something that looks on brand. And I think that's fine. but how do you rise above all the noise? How do you set yourself apart? And so a lot of what, on Instagram, it's definitely more of, I think we're trying to find that new edge and driver and hype. And that is a lot of what we're bringing, I think, my background to, which is the credibility as a dietitian, because it is something just very different. There's no other juice bar out there that are really, I've met the Taco Bell dietitian. She's actually pretty cool. There's just not many of us out there in fast food or quick service. And so it's something that really sets us apart, because while there's also a lot of product and noise out there, there's a lot of misinformation, and people just want to feel like it's credible, like it's right, like it's the right choice for their family, right? This is good for my daughter. I'm not feeding her sugar. I'm feeding her real acai berries from the Amazon, and so part of it is just establishing that credibility. And I think that's a lot of what, Instagram presence we've noticed is a lot of what is, it's your voice, and that's the talking track. Whereas Facebook, that's more of like, people want to see what you're doing in your store. They want to see you peeling the bananas, right? They want to see your team like mixing up the detox and like serving it up at the local community center, because that's what you do on Saturdays. They want to see the sunrise yoga bowls that, we want to, whereas Facebook should have those more of community tie-ins. It's actually why we've kept it where we only have one Instagram for our system, because we just feel that voice is so important. I apologize. There's we're right by a naval air base. So if you hear a naval thing, I'm so sorry.
No worries. We like planes.
I'm so sorry. It's New Orleans for you, man. But yeah, so Instagram really is the voice, this education, right? This validity, this credibility. And we 100% we still layer that's in there on Facebook, but Facebook is more engaging. That's really what we've noticed. People engage with their local Facebooks because it feels more local,
Yeah.
And so, one of the things that we're doing right now, it's great. We actually just invested in a new platform for all of our franchisees to be able to, even while we have social media support as part of what we do for them for the franchise system, we've empowered them to do their own. And so it's not, hey, you can't touch it. It's, I want you to touch it. Please, come in and put your spin on it, because that means it's organic, it's you, and it's authentic. So, I think that's really what, as we've grown and we have this protection of our brand, and I've been very protective of what it is, really evolving and growing and empowering our franchisees to be that voice in Facebook that kind of layers in the education piece, which is really what Instagram is. It's kind of setting us apart from the rest, right? Where in terms of like the type of brand we are and the voice that we are specifically.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Facebook is like the modern way of networking in your community, right? It really is. I mean, LinkedIn is like the professional way.
Yes.
And Facebook is the community way. And certainly Facebook, I mean, I think we're all on Facebook. I know there's a few that aren't, but it's just, it touches everybody.
Hey, my Gen Z are still, Gen Z still on Facebook here at our office. Okay. Like they're still here. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. Well, no, but that's the way you put that was awesome. I think that was really, really important to kind of distinguish how you leverage the different tools and how you assess how Instagram makes an impact, but felt that, really having that consistency from you guys and education based, and you knew what they want. And then on the local side, the Facebook really makes sense. And that's really important to understand those differences and how to focus, right? How to really zero in, because you're right. There's a lot of noise in the juice world, but certainly a lot of noise in the digital marketing world, right? Like, what do I focus on, right? Like, holy mackerel. So that's awesome. Well, listen, I want to make sure that we respect your time, and I love that you've been here and shared all this with us. And before I let you go, I love to ask this question, and I can hear it in you. You have so much energy and passion for this brand. As you're leading this team and helping franchisees lead theirs, is there something that you find yourself gravitating towards? Is there one thing or just an idea or concept that you love to reinforce that you would want to share with the audience?
Yeah, it's really interesting. When I am coming out of college as a dietitian, and kind of it's a very public health world. You don't expect to, I will say, you don't expect to do really what I'm doing today. I'll be honest, I never thought this would be the path, and it's definitely not something that you saw as this big industry changing thing. But, I read this book, and it was Lean In for College Graduates. I will never forget. And it was about kind of just like embracing your you, like leaning into yourself. Not, it's so funny. Poor Sheryl Sandberg gets she gets a bad rap for her lean in and for feminism. But this was it was a college graduate when I will never forget, because I came in and it was like, immediately I was like, well, everybody's going to know more than me. I mean, I just started this. Okay. Like, I'm just getting started. I'm here to learn from you. And while that's there and that's true, you have to lean into what you're capable of. And, and that's so much of what we drive and we see with our team here is that like by leaning in, it means you're not afraid to try. You're not afraid to fail. You're not afraid to do it because you believe in it. If you believe in it, do it. Like, let's go for it. And so, I think, and that just comes a lot with, I think when you grow and like you have this confidence and you're trying, so for me, that was really one of I think it was really what helped set me up to do what I'm doing today is just kind of that shift in mentality. I read the book on the beach. I'll never forget. And it's really, that's a lot of what we instill in our team to this very day.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Like I said, I love that question. I know we talked about it a little bit. I didn't want to put you on the spot too bad, but it's all,
I appreciate it.
But that's brilliant. That's true. I mean, it is, even no matter what stage you're at, right?
Right.
You're always moving forward, I hope, at least, hopefully you are. But if you are, you're always leaning into something that feels uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
You have to question, wait a minute, why can't I be that leader right now? Why can't I be that voice? Why can't I? Right. So like you're right. Some people, and especially a franchisee many times needs that encouragement. Right.
Yeah.
And it might be their first venture, and that's sometimes an entrepreneurial mindset isn't as natural for everybody. Some people are born that way. They're just like, I know what I'm doing. And it's almost the opposite of what but anyway, but that is brilliant. I appreciate that. Is there a website you could share with the audience? Just a quick way they could get to know more about the opportunity to kind of join you guys?
Absolutely. You can check us out online at mainspacejuiceco.com. You can get information about all of our stores, our app, franchising. You can see lots about me on there. You got videos of me for every product that's in there, and learn more about our story and where we're going, because we've got a lot of great things ahead of us.
Wow. Well, it was great having you on today, Julie. I appreciate you taking the time.
Well, we really appreciate the opportunity. It was great to share the Main Squeeze love with everybody. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, it was very good. And I'm looking forward to one being closer to me. Wherever I travel, I'm going to look for one, especially down south. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and you know what? Phoenix is not where Arizona is not far. So that's
right. It's coming. That's good.
That's good. I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.